Hey everybody, welcome back to another graphic design training video for Skills Canada. And today we're going to be talking about separation colors. And so in this project from last year, we're looking at the logo requirements. We see that the logo had to be built in 3 spot colors. And so the competitor did this correctly. And one of the problems that we see is, and you got to be careful with this, is when you bring that logo into InDesign and you place it, and actually the person did it correctly here, I just placed their original in here, you'll notice that those Pantone colors come across, or they come along with that logo. So you're going to see them here as additional color swatches. The problem with that is when you go to your window output separations preview, you're going to see that when we turn off our process color here, those colors still exist. Okay, we got our die line as well, but you can see that those colors are separate from the process color. And in this particular project, the packaging had to be 4-color process. So to change that, what you do, it's real simple. You can just double click the color, go into the color, and change it to process, just like this. And you can do that to each one, and depending on how many that you have. But now you'll notice that when that has been changed, we don't see those Pantone colors in our separations anymore. So if I turn off the process now, you'll see that those colors have changed to process color, and now we no longer have to worry about that. I'm also going to show you how this looks on the Acrobat side of things as well. So if I go over to Acrobat, I'm just going to put this down, and I go to these 2 PDFs, you're going to see the difference here, that if I open them with Acrobat, I'm going to have a nice preview here of our container or our package, 2 different versions here. And if I go into all tools, depends on what version of Acrobat you're going to be using, but if I go view more on mine, I go to print production, I can go to output preview here, and I can actually do the same thing as I just showed you with the separation. So I can click that, and you'll notice in this version of the PDF, we do not see those spot colors. So I can turn off the process plates, and you'll see that I'm left with just the spot plate for the die line. That's it. This is correct because it was a 4-color job. It was a process job. And like I said, compared to this version, where we see those extra colors in there. So if I turn off the process plates, you see that that logo is still in the spot colors. So you got to try to be careful for that. You got to try to avoid that, and you want to make sure that you don't leave those spot colors in your anything that you use, specifically logos. But it's very important that you don't have those on. And that you change them to process before you export your final file if you're doing a PDF or whatever. Another thing that's worth mentioning is that under your die line, you'll notice that we don't have any white lines underneath because this die line is set to overprint, which is correct. That's another thing to check for. So again, that is 2 very important things to watch out for when you are making your spot colors. Using the separation windows in both InDesign and Acrobat is going to be much easier for you to sort of troubleshoot your jobs before you print them or before you turn them in.